What if the secret to real, lasting happiness wasn't about getting something new, but actually about removing what's been hiding it all along? Today, we're going to dive into this ancient science that completely reframes our whole search for peace. It's not about acquiring more stuff, it's a journey of purification.
Think about it. We all chase something, right? A better career, amazing experiences, the perfect relationship, all for that feeling of joy. But let's be honest with ourselves. How often does the chase itself become the biggest source of our stress?
And this really is the fundamental conflict, isn't it? On one side, we have what we deeply crave, lasting peace, real fulfillment. And on the other, there's the daily reality of stress, anxiety, and just this constant unrest. That gap, well, that's the central problem we're going to explore today.
Now, here's a pretty radical idea from the ancient Vedic texts. We don't actually need to create happiness. Our true nature is already joyful, already full of knowledge. It's just been covered up. So the journey is one of cleansing, of washing away all the layers that are hiding our real self. Let's see how this actually works.
To really understand this cleansing process, we're going to start with a beautiful and really powerful analogy, the idea of our consciousness as a mirror.
At the very heart of this is a Sanskrit phrase, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. It literally means the cleansing of the mirror of the heart. The concept here is that our consciousness, our chitta, is like a perfect mirror. It's designed to reflect our true, pure spiritual identity. But, as we all know, mirrors get dirty.
So what is this dust, exactly? Well, the idea is that over countless lifetimes, this mirror of our consciousness gets covered by layers of these impurities. Things like anger, greed, ego, illusion. And this isn't just poetic language. These qualities literally distort our perception of reality, making us identify with our temporary body and mind instead of our true joyful self.
So, this leads to the big question, doesn't it? How do we clean this mirror, especially living in our chaotic, modern lives? Well, this ancient wisdom offers a solution that's specifically designed for our time.
According to the Vedic timeline, we're living in what's called the Kali Yuga. It's described as an age of quarrel and anxiety. Sound familiar? It's an age where our attention spans are short and our minds are constantly agitated. So really complex spiritual practices just aren't feasible for most of us. Recognizing this, the scriptures recommend a very specific, incredibly powerful yet simple path.
You can see how the path to self-realization has adapted over time. In previous, more peaceful ages, the practices were different. We're talking about meditation that lasted for millennia or huge, grand, sacrificial ceremonies. But for our age, for the Kali Yuga, the scriptures recommend the most effective method, Nama Sankirtana, the chanting of the holy names.
And this is it. This is the great chant, or the Mahamantra, prescribed for our time. It's presented as the simplest yet most sublime method to finally cleanse that mirror of the heart and reawaken our original happy consciousness.
And the emphasis the scriptures place on this is just incredible. The repetition here isn't an accident. It's there to stress a critical point for us, right now. There is no more effective spiritual practice. No other means, no other means, no other means. They really want us to get it.
But this all raises a very logical question. How can a simple sound, just a combination of words, have such a profound, purifying effect? Let's get into the spiritual science behind it.
It's the question everyone thinks, right? I could sit here and say table, table, table all day, and not a whole lot is going to happen. So what makes this sound so different?
Okay, here's the core principle. In our material world, a name and the object it represents are two different things. Chanting water, water won't quench your thirst. You need the actual substance. But in the spiritual realm, that distinction completely collapses. The name of God and God himself are considered one and the same.
And there's a specific term for this. Abhinnatvat nama namino. It means the absolute oneness of the name and the named. This is the key. It means when you chant Krishna, you're not just saying a word. You are making a direct connection with the Supreme Person and his divine purifying energy.
So, you can think of the Mahamantra as a sound incarnation of God. When you chant it, these powerful spiritual vibrations enter through your ears, dance on your tongue, and penetrate deep into your consciousness. They act like a powerful solvent that just cleans away all those layers of dust from the mirror of the mind. Now, I know this is ancient philosophy, but its power isn't confined to the past. Let's look at the remarkable story of how this timeless practice entered the very heart of our modern world.
This is a truly incredible story. In 1965, a 70-year-old spiritual teacher, Srila Prabhupada, journeyed from India to New York. Not on a plane, but on a cargo ship, and he suffered 2 heart attacks along the way. He arrived with almost no money, just a trunk of books and this unshakable faith in the mantra. He began chanting in a small storefront, and that sound attracted a whole generation of young people who had everything materially, but were spiritually starving. From that one humble beginning, it spread all across the globe.
And the reach of this spiritual culture is pretty surprising. This quote isn't from a monk or a yogi. It's from Steve Jobs. In his famous Stanford speech, he recalled how, as a young seeker, he'd walk 7 miles just for a good meal at the Hare Krishna temple. It's a powerful testament to the universal appeal of this practice, touching even those who would go on to shape our modern technological world. So all of this brings us back to a very practical and personal point. How do you actually begin this process? How do you take that very first step?
Well, first we have to acknowledge the problem, and this quote from the Bhagavad Gita just captures it perfectly. 5,000 years ago, the great warrior Arjuna expressed the exact same frustration we all feel. The mind is impossibly restless, and trying to control it seems harder than trying to control the wind itself.
But right after Arjuna identifies the problem, Lord Krishna gives the timeless solution. It's a 2-pronged approach. First, abhyasa, which means consistent, dedicated practice. And second, vairagya, which is a cultivated detachment from the material things that are constantly agitating the mind.
And this is really the key takeaway. Chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is the most powerful and practical form of abhyasa for our age. It directly engages that restless mind. It anchors it in a positive spiritual sound, and it makes the seemingly impossible task of controlling the mind actually achievable for anyone.
And so, we end right where we began. This ancient process isn't about becoming someone new. It's a path to uncovering the joyful, brilliant self that has always been there, just waiting beneath the dust to be revealed. The only question left is, are you ready to start cleaning the mirror of your heart?